Hello everybody, Rivet here. Welcome to the Hacienda's Kitchen. Today we're making Nemesvamosi lentil soup, straight out of the Culinary Hungary cookbook. I've never made it before, so join me on another international culinary adventure to see how this turns out. Its signature flavors are tarragon, so it's got dried tarragon and tarragon vinegar, a little bit of red wine, and some meat, and of course paprika, and celery leaves, and ground caraway seed. So, join me. Let's go ahead and put it together. Now the recipe calls for some smoked ribs, or some kind of smoked meat, but I don't have smoked meat. So what I've done is I've taken those soup bones and I broiled them. And I'm going to scrape them out because they're kind of stuck. And I'm going to put them in the pot. And then I'm going to deglaze this pan and save those juices that come out and put it in there. And I'm going to fill this with water, about 2/3, and I'm going to simmer it for an hour until we get a delicious beef stock. Okay, to about 6 tablespoons of hot fat, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour, and we're going to make a roux. Now we're going to add a generous tablespoon or 2 of paprika and turn off the heat. And once we get that nice consistency, now we're going to start adding some broth and continue cooking the roux. Well, you can clearly see that this seems way too much. I'm not sure this recipe is right, but I'm going to add some more, and I'm just going to start adding water because we're only going to add this stuff incrementally because this is not supposed to be a very thick soup. Anyway, it's smelling great though, so let's see what happens. Alright, now that we're done futzing around with the roux, that's off to the side for now. We're going to add the sugar, salt, pepper, tarragon, and other herbs. We're going to add the red bell pepper, the chopped onion, and the equivalent of 2 cloves of garlic, and the equivalent of 1 good-sized tomato. Middle of winter, don't have any, and continue to simmer. We're going to add the 1 pound of rinsed lentils. Bring it to a boil, reduce to simmer, and cook it for 1 hour. Okay, it only took 45 minutes before the lentils are done. Now, I forgot to mention that this recipe calls for mustard, so I'm adding about 1 tablespoon of mustard, the 1 cup of celery leaves, 1 bunch of chopped parsley. Let's go ahead and incorporate that gently. You need another good generous tablespoon or 2 of tarragon. I told you this is a tarragon heavy recipe and it smells awesome. Oh, about a generous cup of wine, red wine. I'm using a Merlot here. And about 1/4 cup of tarragon vinegar. And we need 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. Heat that through nicely. And now that I've got everything incorporated, I'm going to add a little bit of the roux. Not much, because we saw what an obscenity amount this was. So I'm going to start out with a scant 1/4 cup. Okay, I'm going to add another scant 1/4 cup, and that's about as much as I'm going to add. So we're going to have a ton of roux left over, Hungarian roux, but that's fine. We'll figure out recipes to make with it, huh? Okay, well thanks for participating in this culinary adventure with me. It is a very nice soup, and I can tell you it's meant to be cooked very low, very slow all day long. We got chunks of meat, all these nice vegetables, and the low, slow cooking allows the vegetables to keep their shape and color. Oh, wow. That is so bright and tasty and rich. Oh. Delicious. The tarragon really brightens this up. This is in 3D color. If you could imagine the flavor is color, this is high def brightness here, and it's delicious. There's a little bit of mustard in the background that brightened it up, and the tarragon vinegar. This is a very lively soup. It's not hot, not spicy. It's got chunks of meat, and oh my gosh, I can understand now why this is a very famous soup in Hungary. This isn't your ordinary lentil soup here, folks. Man, rich, beefy broth. Nice flavor of the lentils and vegetables. All you need is a chunk of rustic bread and a tankard of beer, and you're set. This is a meal. Now I know why this is a famous soup. You gotta try this. Well, thanks for joining me in the adventure, folks. This was delicious, and with all that extra roux that we got that you saw, I'm gonna make this again. It is that good. Take care. Thanks for seeing me at the Hacienda. Good to see you all again. Bye-bye.